in audio. 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 In audio.
Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the Mandem talk. We got a lot to discuss, man. A lot to discuss. Big up to everybody who's here. Eid Mubarak to everybody who's celebrating around the world. You know, I mean, blessed day today. So Eid Mubarak to everyone. And yeah, man, we're back. Obviously, we've been around, not been here for the past, I think, 1 or 2 weeks, but we are here. Tyrone, what are you saying, bro? You good?
It's mad, yeah, because the timing of big up Mr. Beezy as well. I see your comment there, man. You had a break, obviously, you've been doing your thing, which is sick. Big up Saeed. First of all, actually, big up Saeed doing his thing, New York, Kenya. Like, obviously, you're not gonna pat yourself on the back, but I'm gonna pat it for you. So, you know, big up Saeed. Look, you even let me take center stage of Rhino right now. You get me? Like,
That's great.
he said, I'm getting shy, But no, you know what? Big up Saeed, man. because
Nah,
you, man,
big man
obviously-
thing.
Yeah, you might have been helping him do his thing on the channel. Look where it's helping him get himself, man. So yeah, big up Saeed. I'm gonna give you your flowers, bro. And the funny thing is as well, I had a 2-week break as well. And funny enough, it kind of aligned with the show because we've had a 2-week break. So I hadn't streamed in about a month. So yeah, we're back, man. So big up Rhino every time. Big up Saeed. And guys in the comments, we're back, man. You know what I mean? Mandem talk.
Come on, man. We got Rhino in the building as well. Rhino, what are you telling me?
Come on, man. Then we're locked
You're in
in.
the boardroom right now. What's going
Yeah,
on?
in the board. Listen, I'm trying to pull some strings, man, because this class pissing me off. If these man can't do it, I have to get up and, you know, if you want something done properly, you get up and go and do it yourself. You feel me? So I've just decided. You feel me? But now, seriously, big up Saeed as well, man. Inspiration as well. You feel me? Making moves, paving the way. You feel me? Keeping us motivated. You get me? Big up time, man.
Come on, man. It's all love,
Come on. You guys are looking refreshed in that, man.
Yeah,
man, we're refreshed.
By the way,
Can't
Saeed,
lie to you.
is your mic bugging?
Is my mic right now? Is it bugging right now?
Yeah, it's quiet though, a little quiet.
Is it quiet?
I can hear you, but I can see why the comments are a bit like, do you know what I'm saying?
Let me know. You know what it is, yeah? This obviously I've not been on this computer for like 2 weeks, so it's probably I don't know, it gets slow to adjust, but I might just need to buy a new
I can hear
mic.
you
I don't
though, so
know.
it's all right.
But,
It's all right. I
let
can
me
hear
know.
you. So
The quality, yeah. I need to sort it out, man. So apologies on the mic, man. But big up to everybody who's here. There's over 500 people in the building already. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But we got a lot to discuss, man. We got HKM Music's already here with a super chat goes, don't care if Ten Hag wants him. I'm Ten Hag out if we get him out. We have a budget of 120 million and you want to use 65 M's on Mount. Shows me you ain't serious about winning major trophies. Ten Hag thinks he's at Ajax. Let's wait for the Mount because we got to talk about something that's more imminent. And that is David De Gea. David De Gea, people, has put out a tweet literally, I'd say, an hour before this show. And it's just basically like this. That's what he's saying. He's saying,
do you know what? I even put a tweet outside. It reminds me of when if I had an argument with a girl in school and then they'd put something on Facebook.
Yeah. Bro, it's petty, man. It's petty. I can't lie to you. It really, really is petty. But it's happened. Well, I don't know, man. This is just kind of like almost 2 days before his contract is about to run out, people. His contract expires July the 1st, is it? I think. Yeah, July the 1st. His contract runs out. And I mean contract runs out, people. There's no 1 year to trigger. He is gone in 2 days. He's either saying, hurry up, or he's saying that right now I can't speak, but there's a lot of things to talk about, basically, innit? Tyrone, what do you make of it all? Yeah, I mean, I know we kind of bantered there about Gyal and all that, but
yeah, but now seriously, we've got to talk seriously on it. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is still a professional footballer. This is still a human, 32 years of age. You know, he's been at the club a long time. I'm not saying that, you know, people should say, oh, treat him differently because he's been at the club a long time. At the end of the day, though, you still just do it respectfully. I've seen a lot of people going back and forth on Twitter saying, you know, United put an offer out there, they then retracted the offer based on maybe the performances in the last couple months. If I'm honest and I'm Manchester United and I was Eric Ten Hag, I feel like they shouldn't have even made the offer maybe straight away in the first place. If you're already having doubts, I maybe would have hold fire and said, you know what, let's sit down at the table and discuss as adults towards the end of the season. I'll tell you what it reminds me of slightly. And it could have gone great, it could have not. But remember when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the job? I went to his first game against Watford at home. I think we just beat PSG in the Champions League. We knocked them out away. Everyone remembers that. And Ferdinand was there saying, give him the contract. We gave Ole the contract sort of at a March time it was. And we still had a couple of months to play in the season. But his performances of the team, it started to recline. And everyone was like, you know what, we should have maybe waited to the end of the season. And I kind of feel like with the De Gea situation, we've maybe offered him something towards the end of the season. He's got a bit comfortable, and also then his complacency has started to be like highlighted even more. And now Ten Hag's like, crap, do you know what? We've offered him quite big money, even though it's a reduction, but it's still big money. And now I don't know if you're actually the keeper I want to go forward with, because there's lots of things you've got to think about. He's 32 and he's going to get a contract. Say it's going to be at least 3 years, right? Because it's his big contract. You're that age now. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're going to have him on quite big wages. He's 32 years of age. That means you're going to have a keeper for the next 3 years, which is him. Does it hinder the way we want to play football, or Ten Hag does? Yes. Do I think De Gea is going to get better, if I'm personally honest? No. So for me, like when I look at De Gea and the attributes I want to see Manchester United sort of possess and playing, apart from being a good shot stopper, which I give him credit he is, and he saved us a lot of times over the years.
Got to move forward now from that.
I want to move forward. Yeah. I want to move forward. And I feel like that the tweet he's put out is either two things. It's either one, he's silencing the doubters that are saying, you know, he's not going to sign a contract and so forth, but he already has. And he's like, do you know what? That's why you shouldn't talk media and I'm going to stay. Or something's gone on with the club where he's spoken with them. They've retracted their offer like we're hearing. And now he's going to leave in 2-3 days time. And he's been like, do you know what? I'm going to put that out because it's embarrassing the way the club have dealt with it. There's no medium here. I feel like we're within the next week, within the next 2-3 days, we are going to find out whether the media have been sort of, you know, pushing the story out a bit too much and he's laughing at it, or he's been like, do you know what? I've been here for 10 years and you're disrespecting me like that in terms of the way you've offered me a contract and not, and now I'm leaving. This is a bit of embarrassment in terms of your part. So there's literally not going to be no sort of, you know, cooking toast and it's going to come out medium. It's either going to be burnt or it's going to come out not cooked. Yeah.
100%, man. Big up Mumsy TV says De Gea has been great for us for a few years, but it's now time to move on. But I hate how United treat him like trash. Wish him the best of luck. I think for me, there's a lot of people bashing David De Gea online. For me, it's fair enough. You know what I mean? Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But where I look at is nobody's thinking about the bigger picture. How has it got to this situation where a guy who's been told this is your contract, he's accepted it, Man United have okayed it, and then they've gone back and said, you know what, we're taking that contract off you. Oh, I know Ten Hag has apparently vetoed it, but where's the communication between Ten Hag and the ownership? And this is why I say, you know, when who was that contract that Ten Hag didn't know about? It was announced. Remember that contract where he said someone was announced that they signed a new deal and he didn't know about it until the press conference? Was it Luke Shaw? Luke Shaw. Was
Yeah,
Luke
I
Shaw?
think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think it was Shaw still. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I raised that up, like when it was signed, I said to myself, hold on a minute, how does Ten Hag not know there's an announcement on the contract? And everyone was like, nah. You know what I mean? You know, he probably knows, etc., etc. But now Ten Hag has actively been the reason why David Hayes' contract has been not rescinded, but again, they're looking at it again. How can you give someone a plan and say to him, you know what, come back. We're going to change it up. You know how incompetent that is.
Yeah.
You know how incompetent that is as a football club. It's mad. No other club
At the highest
so
level as well. Like we're at the highest level. It's not even like, I'm not saying League Two's obviously still professional, but if that happened, you kind of get like, cool, okay, like it's not going to be in the limelight. This is Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and the thing is as well, which makes it worse for me, is that I kind of look at this situation beyond the Gea, because we've seen over the last 5-6 years hand out silly contracts to people, or we sign players and we give them large amounts of money. Yes, we're trying to reduce that now. But this kind of situation epitomizes what's really going on at the club. And it's just like, you know, we're not doing the basics correct. I hate to say it, but I'm looking at Newcastle United, right? They've just gone and got Dan Ashworth in from Brighton. And look, they've got Tonali, no problems done. It's like 70 million, cool. You want that money, we'll pay it. Livramento, they're looking at now for 12 million. They're moving smart. They're moving like a proper football club. They're not even spending millions like everyone thought they would. They're being smart.
They're not.
That's what a footballing man, just one individual, can do. We don't even have that. Look, some people are bigging up Murta last year. Then some people are talking about Darren Fletcher. Then some people are saying Richard Arnold. There's no clear sort of infrastructure of what's going on. And you know what? It's showing now, because, like I said, the contracts that have been handing out, the Gea situation now, Ten Hag's not even got a signing in. We're talking about selling players. The only player we sold is a £700,000 Iqbal. Like, nothing's actually gone right this summer. Like, I'm talking outgoings, ingoings, club. So, and we've not even, and you know what, to top it off, Saeed, we haven't even sold the club.
By the way, there's some news about that right now, which I want to pull up. Adam Fahimi says, big up my brothers. Yo, big up Adam, man, by the way. Big up my brothers. Get involved, people. Like the video. You know the drill. Give some love to Saeed, Ty, Rhino. Come on. Yeah, man. Like the video, people. There's 800 of you in here. So please do like the video. Zoatech TV says, Hag football is a myth. The
Netherlands, Tony Pulis.
Netherlands, Tony Pulis, PMP football. Listen, man, I think for me, I know Zoatech, you're not really a fan of Ten Hag's football, but I think next season is a big indication where this football does end up. You know what I mean? We have to see if there's an evolution in this type of football, because for me, don't want to see counter-attacking football all the time, or that kind of transition football. There has to be an element of control, has to be an element of possession. So we're going to see on that one. But in terms of the breaking news, Bloomberg, which is it's like a business page, if I'm being honest with you. Breaking news, those within the inner circle of the Qatari bid have now begun communicating their confidence of victory and believe it's just a matter of time before an official announcement is made, according to the people. I mean, listen, we've been here before. Has anyone been here before? Have we not been here before? A confidence. I could be confident of Joran Agyal, and the next thing you know, if you don't have the, the final kind of go ahead, and she's not feeling it, then it's not really happened, is it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to confirm you've got the girl first. You need to confirm.
Real talk, that's brilliant.
I have a good feeling about everything in life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but does everyone not have a good feeling when they wake up in the morning? You say you're gonna smash your goals. You say you're gonna go do this, and then you don't end up doing it. So come on, man. Like, it's nothing new here, guys. It actually is nothing new. Like, I generally, unless I hear the Qataris, it's in motion, it's happening, bro. The inner feeling, the inner circle, it's like, it's mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, there's a funny story here, but Sheikh Jassim's son actually follows me on Instagram, and it was crazy. It happened there when I was at the baseball game. So I've actually tried to message this brother, yeah, but he ain't answering. I don't know why. He literally, I've messaged him.
Saeed wants answers. We all want answers.
I said, bro, what's going on, man? What's going on with the deal? And I've not got a message back. And this is the son of Sheikh Jassim. So he's followed me, which is a good start. But bro, answer my message, bro. Let me know what's going on. Like, man, just airing me. You get me? Like, just, you know what I mean? What's going on? Just let me know.
Send him one today, like Happy Eid and all that. Try and get in his good books.
Yeah, man. I tried to say, yo, you know what I actually said? I said it's Eid today, man. Why do you announce it on a blessed day on Eid? But he's just like, yo, I don't know, man. Maybe one day he's gonna message, man. But I don't know, Ryan. What do you reckon of that, man? It's just air talk, innit, for you?
Yeah, it's the same old nonsense, man. This club is a joke. It's absolute embarrassment. All these clubs are making moves, and as I said, obviously it's a thing where it's still early in the window. You know, we can take our time and give it time, but it's the execution, it's how we're doing things, it's the mentality behind it. It's awful, bro. It's awful, Mandem. Like this Bloomberg news. Oh, Bloomberg. Oh, yeah, man. It's all the same cap. It's all the same nonsense, bruv. You feel me? But Bloomberg, obviously, in terms of a business source, it's quite good. I'll be real. Like I'm gonna tap into it and look into it. But other than that, man, I don't want to get giddy, man. Listen, like Ty said, everyone's doing their thing. We're struggling we can't even get Rabiot on a free. Bro, what's going on, bro? It's
Rabiot, you know, but we can't even get him on a free.
We can't even
it is, man. And people said to me, and I'm not really keen on Rabiot. I don't think he's an amazing player, but I said for Ten Hag's sake, let's go and get him and see what I go on.
It's bad, bro.
And again, okay, can I play devil's advocate then, man? Let me play devil's advocate because obviously we agree on a lot of stuff, yeah. But they wanted a big signing on fee. Are you not kind of like, cool, we didn't actually pay a big signing on fee, which we would normally pay in the past, and everyone would be like, oh, look, Rabiot's mum stung us. They paid a 12 million signing on fee. So maybe do you not think, nah, cool, United maybe said, you know what? We ain't going to spend that on the signing on fee. Is that not a problem?
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's a good point.
The whole premise was it was a Ten Hag signing. Ten Hag wanted him, and then you go from that to kind of saying, right, who do you go and get? That's not a Ten Hag signing. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Ten Hag's very, very specific in certain players that he wants. He's either watched them or he's actually been with them or kind of watched them closely. The only anomaly is probably Casemiro, but Casemiro's kind of stumbled on. So Malacia, he's watched him fine on. You've got Weghorst that he's probably seen around in the Dutch league. Who else has been there? Anthony, Lisandro. Who else is there? That he's kind of, so it's either who he has just seen or who he's kind of obviously
Ericsson. He kind of knows.
Ericsson. Yeah. Anthony
Ericsson is what he kind of knows.
Yeah.
So
Malacia, I saw him in the Dutch league.
It's not the fact that we didn't get him. It's the fact that I'm just looking at it from a broader point of view. Is that Ten Hag signings is that's what he wants. So if we're not going to get him, then who is he going to look outside for? Because I'm looking at Ten Hag as a man, and I'm thinking he only goes for things that he knows. So if he doesn't know it, then it's like, well, he won't move to it. So then we're stuck with kind of profile-wise, who do we get? You see what I mean?
Yeah. Or even to go back to the point of De Gea, I didn't even address my opinion with that. It's bad, man. We need to give respect where it's due, no matter what we feel in terms of the negative stuff that's happened and the games that he has cost us. Because like I said in how many Mandem talks ago, I said there's times he's been put his neck on the line and the strikers haven't put in no work. Well, are we gonna bash them for their stinkers when Bruno's not turned up in big games? Are we gonna go and bash him now? You feel me? So at least with respect, there needs to be better communication between the board level and Ten Hag. They promised him certain things. I swear they were saying it's in the contract where he's allowed to have control of who comes in and all of that stuff. I don't even know if all of that's factual. That there's too much. It's just messy, man. Listen, people, De Gea, we need to respect him. He's done a lot for us. 12 years? Come on, man. Come on, people. We need to respect, but there needs to be a better handling of everything as well. It's poor, man. It's bad still.
Do you think, either way, say he does stay or he does go, do you think De Gea will come out and, okay, right, so if he does stay, I don't want to hear it's great to be at the club again and, really work well with Ten Hag, the normal statement you get from players. But also, if he does sign on, I want to see like a personal sort of, I want to see what De Gea is actually thinking about the situation. Or I want him to come out and say something about like why it's taking this long or the direction I want to head in. And also, if he does leave, I actually want to hear what he's got to say about like the handling of it. Like, because at the end of the day, De Gea is probably one of the last breed I would say that's been here when we was quite successful. We won the league with him, of course. Under
the last kind of you're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And he's been there when obviously we had a few highs with Mourinho in the first season.
Yeah, he's been for a lot.
Bangal sort of come in, and you know people were positive about that. So I would like to see De Gea also speak on the situation if he leaves. A lot of players can say, do you know what, out of respect, no further comment or something. But no, De Gea, like, you've been there long enough. I want to hear how you feel. So either way, I want to hear about the situation. I don't want it just to be sign the contract, job done, because we know it's not been great. Like you said, Rhino, it's been messy. You've got a 32-year-old big man tweeting, covering his face.
It's mad, bro.
You know what I mean? No one does that.
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
it's wild, man.
De Gea's quite vocal still. Yeah, sorry, big up Neji.
The press conferences, and when he speaks, that's why he was captain. You know what I mean? At one point, then he got taken off it. But Neji, what are you telling me, broski? You good, bro?
I'm all right, man. I'm just trying to understand why you're getting certain tans and we're out here in the cold, man. What's going on?
Bro, I'm telling you, man, we're here, man. We're living in it. We're living, man. We're living, man. You know what I'm saying? We outside, man. We outside. Come on, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love, man. We've got a couple of super chats here before we get your opinion, AG, on the De Gea situation. HK says the signing fee was £8 million and it's a free signing. Let's not do this. And I don't get people outraged with £8 million sign-on fee. Rabbi or mum, but you guys are willing to give Chelsea 65 M's to buy Caicedo. 65 M's to go and buy Caicedo, obviously, with the money. Make it make sense. Yeah, listen, that's what, and we'll talk about Caicedo as well, because apparently United are backing for him, which... Listen, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. But Neji, what are you thinking about the whole situation with David Gea? Did you see the post? You seen what's going on? Do you think this is kind of beginning of the end? Do you think he's done now and he's almost kind of like, yo, see you later? Or what are you thinking?
I mean, I saw De Gea's response or post to the situation after seeing the initial reason to him posting what he posted. Forget De Gea, forget the player. I'm looking from a principle. So what I'm about to say is from a principle perspective, right? Whether you like the player or not, forget the keeper situation for now, right? Because I don't believe just because you rate or dislike a person or a player that you should switch up your moral concept when you're dealing with business and you're trying to set up, you're trying to show some class or quality.
Yo, okay.
Sorry, come back. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
My back, yeah, sorry, apologies. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, someone's calling me, man. If it goes off again, then I'll just answer and come back. But just quickly, as I said, I'm gonna look from a moral standpoint. If you give somebody a contract, right, that means you've done your due diligence, you've gone, you know what, this is what we're prepared to do, X, Y, Z. If you're putting it on the table, a man's ready to sign it, and then all of a sudden you say, no, we can't do that again, mate. We're going to do a different proposal. I'm sorry, that is ridiculous. And the reason why I don't home this on De Gea's situation, yes, it helps those that dislike De Gea to give them some fuel to go at him. And it gives some fuel for those who want to keep him to go see he's been disrespected. Forget bias, strong left, strong right, yeah? Forget that. The same situation... I can't say exactly the same. Sorry, I use different words. Similar situations based on principles and morals happen with Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, and it's continuing to happen at this damn football club. Are we that much of a joke that we can't even get a contract right before offering it to a person? Like, let's just look at the humanistic standpoint of it. Why are you offering something to a...
Yeah, that's facts, though.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll come back in a second, boys. But yeah, just quickly, why are you offering something to a human being, but you're not even sold on it yourself? There has to be some stupidness going on within that, and that just again shows how stupid we are as a club. Now, for those who want to be emotional and who are far left or far right, if you are far left and want De Gea out, the reason you should not be gassing this up, because when it happens to one of your favourite players, and that's why I tweeted out earlier, if this was Martinez or Casemiro, you're going to feel the type of way and think, what are we doing? This is ridiculous. True. And not only that, right? Not only that, De Gea, whether you rate him or not, deserves at least enough respect for when he was at the top of his game, when the game didn't change, to still stay at Manchester United for one, right? That's facts. That's one. Also on top of that, from the history of Manchester United as I know it, and maybe you guys know it as well if you know long enough, we do have a certain element of class. I do like to feel that is part of our DNA and that we respect every person that have worn that jersey. That was from Fergie. Fergie respected the tea lady to the point where he respects the fans. That to me, that's a community. That's what Man United is. And the way we're moving right now is so disjointed, like we don't care about these players. So yes, he needs to go. We know that's a different conversation to what we're having. But what I am saying to you is,
basically,
we
there's
can't.
a right way of doing it.
Yeah, there is a right way of doing it. And the furthermore, right? Look at managers. Look at Zlatan Ibrahimovic's comments about the way we run. Look at Louis van Gaal. There's many out there, right? Gary Neville, everyone. Think about it from a business perspective. And anyone that's business-minded, you will know this about networking. When you have a strong employee who's worked for you and dedicated their life to you, and then their time is to move on, right? You are going to need referrals from them people to say, I work for that company. They were XYZ. They did XYZ. People are leaving at every angle of Manchester United, laughing at us, saying, it looks good on the outside, but on the inside, we're not good. Do you think people are silent to that? These are important facts that we need to consider when we're looking at how we're being run as a club. These people do not care, right? And I know care is a small detail, but when you actually care, because you have some levels of class and some morals and values, it goes a long way. People are more inclined to go, raw. De Gea used to beat United. What's it like? Well, when I first joined, it was this. But when I left, it was this. This is how they sorted this out. And these conversations are going on behind the scenes, away from social media, fan content, everything else. This is not good enough for me personally. And you can have a discussion whether you want De Gea or not. I'm not having that conversation because that's not what I'm talking about.
Club,
it is the principle of how we are moving. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that we're doing this yet to another player. It's ridiculous. De Gea needs to go, of course. But from a personal perspective, for any honour, he didn't even need to entertain any contract, even if Ten Hag wanted him to sign as a number 2 or whatever. He just needs to bounce now because you can't be treated like this. It's ridiculous.
100%. And you know what? There's another point I want to make. I'm going to read a couple of super chats here.
I'm going to fly back in 2 minutes. Just need to let them know that I'm on the
street. No worries. Cool. Bless up, bro. Yeah, man. 10H says the way the club moves is so amateur, cashing on players that you can get money for. Don't give a toss if McTominay scored a goal for flipping Scotland. 260 we spend, woohoo. Yeah, there's supports there, but we have to sell players first. HK Moose says, why are we surprised though? The club has been run poorly for years. Whether it's contracts or transfer fees or transfer tag, we are horrible at making deals and sticking to our word. Even Ander Herrera, there was a lot of people that said, he wanted 300 grand a week. You know what I mean? But reality, the way we handled that situation there was very, very bad. The Paul Pogba one. You remember the Paul Pogba? Yes, he wanted to leave, but the situation was that there was no contract offered or no contract on the table, and there was a bit of a dispute around that. Like, the way we've handled situations is not great. And
this is what I'm saying. It goes way back. That's what I was saying earlier. It goes way back to post the Fergie situation. It's not just something that's new. And I think it just shows the incompetence of the whole club. And also, when you're Ten Hag and you're trying to entice even new players to come into the club, maybe if you are a Mason Mount, for example, who you've grown up in England, so you kind of, if you grow up in England, you kind of bypass that side of it and you think, it's Manchester United because of what you know the club is. But when you're trying to get these players from overseas and stuff like that, and you're in competition with maybe a PSG or a Chelsea or an Arsenal, whoever it is, you're not really going to be enticed by Manchester United the way the clubs run. Only the name of Manchester United, because we haven't got anything to offer, which is what other clubs can. Even our training ground, let's be honest, even our training ground isn't even up to scratch like the other teams are. We're looking at Newcastle, have just opened a new one, like I said about Dan Ashworth. They opened up a new one last month. There's just little things that this club need to do, which is why, of course, I know we're bored of the ownership talk, but we do want someone like Neji said that comes in and ultimately just cares. Whether they're going to be at the games or not, I don't really care if they're going to be sitting in the stands watching the games. As long as they're there showing that they care and they want to make, changes to the club and give us fans the light to say, do you know what? Okay, I can see what they're trying to do, or, I can see there's a positive direction we're heading in, or, in 2 years' time, okay, I think we can be here. At the end of the day, I was in a group chat with Rants and what you're in, Saeed, as well, and I was even saying, do you know what? We're probably the only fans out of the top 5, top 6, I'll probably say, alongside maybe Spurs right now, that don't really want the season to start. Liverpool, I know they're excited because obviously they're going to get signings. They've already got McAllister. Chelsea are coming with the Poch effect. It's lovely having a new manager. You've got City. Arsenal are getting Declan Rice. And then you've got Tottenham, who Harry Kane might stay, but you're still getting James Maddison for 40 million, which is still brilliant. And you're going to sign more. So when you look at it, away from the top 6,
when's pre-season start? I'm like, when's pre-season start?
Bro, we're back to pre-season next week.
Next week, yeah.
Bro, we're back to pre-season next week.
Next week.
And do you know what
is it next week?
Yeah, it's next 100%. It's next week.
Definitely less than 2 weeks.
Find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's back middle of next week. And
You know. By the way, yeah, Manchester United have never made a signing in June since Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
That was 2019. Do you see
2009.
that?
There you go. You know what I mean? And it doesn't give us fans any like
12th
optimism.
of July.
12th.
That's
I
mad.
think, okay, it must be the after next week then, because it's definitely coming up soon. I think it's earlier than that. I think it's earlier
In terms
than
of
that.
reporting to training, it might be a bit earlier for some.
Yeah.
Obviously, people have been like Bruno Fernandes, all these guys that have been.
Yeah, they'll
with
get a little rest in
what
that.
they call. Yeah,
But-
they'll get a little rest. So,
but this is the worrying
think
thing for me, Saeed. The last thing I want to say, sorry, is just that.
Yeah.
Okay, the league kicks off in what 6-7 weeks. We've got a lot to do in that time. We've still got to start the ownership, which obviously there's rumors about that breaking, but that's still got to get done. Paperwork, all that. We still got to get signings in. We still got to get signings out. Ten Hag's still got to, get the players up to speed. We've still got Martial sort of recovering from injuries. It's not like we're just plain sailing. There's a lot of
and getting rid of
going on
players
right
as
now.
well.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? There's a lot going
again,
on.
Rhino, rid of players, man. Maguire has got to go. I think for me, if I'm being honest with you, McTominay's got to go.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Henderson needs to go.
Eric Bailly,
we need to get rid of
Tellers.
Eric Bailly, Tellers. There's certain man need to leave, man. Even for me, I don't want to say it, but if Martial ain't starting next season, I don't see his worth. Again, that's my own opinion. Like, I don't want to be starting the season with Martial starting because, again, we need a striker. You can't be putting pressure on Martial to be starting when you know the situation. For me, it's not only bad on him, on Martial, but it's not fair on the fans of the club because we kind of past that now. It needs to be a striker first and then whoever's backup and whatnot. Ilango, Williams. People say Sancho. Listen, we don't know what situation with him. Apparently, we're hearing that he's going to be sold and whatnot. So there's a lot of Van der Beek. Yeah, listen, the list could go on and on and on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We could. But what we're hearing, and like I said, what they're saying here in terms of the actual Bloomberg, what do you call it, article, it says Manchester United have about 260 million available for new signings during the summer transfer window, but FFP rule means not all of the amount will be spent. So obviously, you know what I mean? It just shows you, even with the Qataris coming in, we're still behind in terms of like the Qataris' effect on Man United won't be happening. Probably not January, not this summer, but definitely maybe next summer if they come. Right now, it's about getting rid of Deadwood, balancing the books, and then kind of going in. So you've got to have an effective window. You can't just splash out 60 million on Mount and then just everything else is kind of like, you know what I mean? You've got to spend wisely. You've got to then sell people wisely. Loftus-Cheek is leaving for 15 million. How much would United got for Loftus-Cheek? Probably about 4 million. Let's be real. We're probably going to go. Like, them man are selling players for ridiculous prices that we're thinking, hold on a minute, how is that even possible? But they do it, and they do it well. So, I don't know, man. Big up to HK Music, says Martial's going to be here. We ain't buying 2 strikers, we broke.
Probably true.
Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. Højlund has gone quiet as well, I don't know what you think of Højlund.
Yeah, them man were looking at 100 mil side though, man. Like, them man were looking at like 100 million euros. Something stupid. And again, that's what's reported. So we can only go off report. So I'm not commenting on it as if that is fact. But based off that report alone, if it is true, if there's an element of truth to it, 100 million euros for Højlund makes 0 sense. And you only have to look at the situation with Bayern Munich, and Harry Kane. The fact that they're tabling 70 million means they've got the balls to go and to give them less and then some add-ons to what we've been quoted. Because anyone that quotes United a price, we're paying 20, 30 million. People are taking the piss out of us, and this is a hard pill to swallow, people. But a part of me is happy that we're not spending above what we need to for certain players, even if we are in desperate need of players, because there has to be a precedent set. And again, outside the football pitch, there has to be a precedent set where we're showing clubs that no, we're not being taken for idiots no more. Like, we're not doing it. Like, this is the price. We're willing to pay this. We'll pay an extra little bit out of courtesy of what you're demanding but we're not getting ripped off again, because that, for me, is part of the problem. And we do need to rectify that. And if we go into every season overspending because we're desperate, then we're going to look like a joke anyway. And this is the issue when you've got people in charge that are using this money and spending this money. And again, it's not the manager. The manager will give you a list of XYZ players, and then the people above will go, well, this is how much it's costing. That's it. It's not even on the manager. So forget that chat. But the people behind who are releasing these funds and okaying it and accepting it, including the Glazers, to say, yeah, we don't mind parting ways with XYZ money, right? These people need to be changed as well. We cannot go into summer transfers, winter transfers, one, overspending, but two, doing it when you're at your most desperate, because you have a how can I put it? You have a shrine to uphold. You have a legacy to uphold, and that's a lot of the pressure for Manchester United to be up there all the time. So you can't fault on those pressures by overpaying. If you're going to overpay, at least make it decent amount. Like we spoke about the Anthony transfer before. Yes, did we overpay? We all agree we overpaid. But when you look at why we overpaid, it wasn't just based on his own talents. It was because, again, right at the end of the transfer window. Two, because of course he's got to try and get a cemented system involved using players that he already knows, which speeds up the process.
Exactly.
But three, also, we've already gone in for Martinez, so of course Ajax will want more money. They've just lost their manager, just lost Martinez, who's absolutely incredible. They're going to add more wage. That has nothing to do with Anthony, sadly. So we could say 40-30 million was overspent on Anthony. Either way, those types of overspending, I understand to a degree. I'm not saying I agree with it, but because I can see the understanding behind it, I can go, you know what, we needs must. Because we're in a situation as a club where we have to start being smart like that and unfortunately we're taking financial risks, but we've got to make sure that the risks will pay off. And there's less chance for these players to fail, especially in a desperate moment. And this is all coming down to our owners and how we've been run. This is where we've got two people. We would not be in these risky, desperate situations where we're trying to make moral choices, but then we have to, get rid of those morals because our owners ultimately say so. And now we're in a situation where we've had an incredible season. Some would say we've overachieved, but at the same time, the expectation is for some fans, and I disagree with it, but some fans, I appreciate that, they're going to say, well, if we did this last season, we can do this next season. I think we've overachieved anyway. I think he's gone above and beyond, and I think that was a miracle season for Ten Hag's work, and he got the best out of a situation that not many people predicted. Do I think we can go to the next season and go and do that again? No, I don't. And if he is going to be left with the same players, and I do believe that other teams are going to improve as well, I think we will struggle, as it stands, by the way, with no new owners, to get sixth if we continue to move in this lazy, sloppy fashion. And I think we will battle for sixth. Whereas if I think we get the right appointments in for Ten Hag on and off the pitch, I think we comfortably make top four, and we should be having expectations of going forward towards trophies. This is all a knock-on effect from how we've been running this day, and this feeling that everyone's feeling right now has been coming, but we haven't been able, some haven't been able to see it early enough because they've been too happy winning trophies under Fergie for the last couple of years and so forth. We've been living off the hype, same with Glazers. But that's coming to an end, people, and now people are starting to realise where we are as a club, what we're trying to do, and the difficulty it is, and it's laughable and it's a joke. So right now, and I'll finish on this, if we don't get new owners in time for at least a couple of transfers by the end of the summer, you can write the season off for my to say, oh wow, boys, it's on you, the manager. Of course, there are going to be games where he may make bad choices and stuff. I expect that. And he may make good choices. I get that. But as a whole, living the situation he's been in, he's no different than a Jose Mourinho, no different than a Moyes, no different than a Van Gaal. He's been treated exactly the same way. And that's how it's looking right now. But we're in a worse situation because he has overachieved. So people now think it's doable. It's not. And I don't believe we'll do well next season at all, doing what we're doing right now. It makes no sense to me.
Absolutely, guys. There's over 900 people in here. Make sure we get in the target of 500 likes. So for every video, we always ask for a 500 like target. So make sure we are smashing the like button of the video. HK Music says here the FFP rule ain't true. If Qatar comes off loads players, we will be able to spend more. Glazers put the PR about FFP isn't true. They just don't want to sell players. Exactly. I think they just can't. They're just not good at selling players. It's crazy, man. This is why I don't want Mount, even at 55 million, he has 1 year left on his contract, and go buy Viego or Manu Kone, who are less than 40 million pounds and are better than Mount. And then Madison went for 40 M's while Mount with a year left on his contract is it gonna go for 65 M's? Ten Hag gonna learn. You know what? Even a Madison one, it's not bad. It's not bad business, is it? Tyrone, they're in the championship. Like United just can't make smart business, and that's where the worry is for me. Like you can't make smart businesses. Even if you look at it, like you say, oh, McAllister, we didn't know about that 35 million the release clause.
Mm.
I doubt Man United even knew about that. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. That's how bad it is. Like, the thing is, we can't sell players, but we also can't find them little deals where,
That's it.
that's a deal. That's a good deal.
And that's the frustrating thing. Like, when you look at what a few weeks ago, you see Liverpool like linked to Manu Kone from watching Gladbach, little things like that, where it's a 35, 40 millions, or, you know, even sometimes a 25 million clause when you get foreign teams as well. It's quite frustrating. I always feel like United just go for like the predictable, the obvious. It's like going to someone's dinner and they say, "Oh, what are you having? You're having spaghetti bolognese." I don't eat mince, but do you know what I mean? It's just a traditional standard dinner that people have in a household. I want something different. I want you to be like, I want to be like, okay, you're thinking outside the box. That's what I want for my football club. And, you know, like a perfect example, right? Ferguson's second to last season, he signed Shinji Kagawa from Dortmund. I loved Kagawa, by the way, but I was like, what a signing. Top player in the Bundesliga, helped them win the league. That's the sort of stuff I want to see us going for, them different type of players.
Yeah.
But obviously, at the moment, we're not. Look at it. It was typical. Wan-Bissaka, Crystal Palace, right back. It was Harry Maguire, played for Leicester, English defender. Like, no offense to Harry Kane, I get it, 'cause actually we do need a striker, but, you know, England's number 9, Harry Kane. Like, I just want something a bit different.
What would you say the last smart signing's been at United? What would you say the last smart signing's been at United?
No, I'll be honest with you. I actually thought Van der Beek was going to work out as a smart signing. I'll be real with you. When I see 35 million, what he done at Ajax, based off not what he's done at the club, people, I'm on about before what I saw him do in the Champions League, I was like, do you know what? This could work out a clever signing. That's what I wanted to see. So that's what I would say. It didn't work out, but that type of move.
The thing is with Lisandro Martinez, I think for me, Lisandro Martinez, there was a lot of doubt around him. I'm talking about players that you look at, you thinking smart signing, because I thought Mkhitaryan at the time was a smart signing. Malacio, I didn't see it as a smart sign. I just thought, you know what, we got him for. I'm talking about signings that you think, oh, that's a very good. Like Kovacic for Man City is a smart signing for them because again, it's not high risk. It's not, you know, they don't have to play him every week. You know what I mean? Like people say Zlatan. I don't think Zlatan was in that bracket. He was kind of proven. He was kind of almost like, whoa, that's a.
Would you say, for example, would you say Cavani? Do you think Cavani was?
Cavani. You know what? At the time, yeah, because he was 31. And listen, a lot of people said it was about his injury record, but I just looked at what he was doing at PSG, and I was like, damn, that is a very, very, that's a top quality sign. I'd probably say that. Eriksen, yeah, but then again, obviously, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but obviously that was probably a smart signing. But yeah, man, Tonali is. But again, obviously, we're not going to go in for that kind of players.
Yeah, and also they're spending. I feel like they have spent a substantial amount of money, which makes it a big signing. When you spend 70 million or whatever it is on a player, then for me, I'm not saying it's not smart, but it's like, okay, you've actually spent money on that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, for example, if Newcastle go and get Livramento for 12 million, that's a perfect smart signing.
Yeah,
that's the type of thing I look at. But I don't know, man. At the moment, I'm just it's just one of them ones where
it was. What it was. Let's be honest. The last smart signing,
that was 22 million or whatever 30. It was. It was. Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm just waiting for something to get better. How I feel as a Man United fan right now with like it's got to get better for us. Like it has to be. Something has to happen. The wheels have got to turn because I don't know if I said it on the last Mandem talk, but the last thing I want is our manager losing his patience. At the moment, not a lot's been said about Ten Hag. No one's really come out and said that Ten Hag's frustrated or, you know, he's not done no interviews or nothing. He must be on his holidays or whatever he's doing, right? But the bottom line is, whatever's going on, I just hope that Ten Hag's been informed because he is the most important person at this club at the moment. Like Neji said earlier, he's helped us overachieve in terms of the season. He's actually got players actually improving. Individual players like Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, just to name, for example. We didn't really see them having the individual seasons they've had last year. You know, so Rashford, people were saying, 12 months ago, including me, this 12 months is the biggest 12 months for Rashford. Well, he came out and delivered on an individual basis. So for me, I just want to make sure that we're clearly communicating to Ten Hag what's going on. That's massively important because if we're not, and this manager's left in the loop, let's be real, these Dutchmen, these European guys, they're not scared to speak their mind. They're not scared to speak their mind. I've seen Van Gaal do it. I've seen Mourinho do it.
You would have played Ten Hag if he left. You wouldn't blame him if he left.
Why would you, man? Do you know what I mean? You've been crapped on. You've just shown that you can overachieve of what you've done, but that can't be the norm because that isn't the norm in football. Sadly, like you need something that you could sustain, and he's the only man that's out there that's available.
Like Saeed said, not forgetting that the rivals who Liverpool had a poor season, Chelsea, they're not going to do that again.
Of course, man. You know what's sad? I was actually looking forward to the season moving forward because I'm looking at teams now actually. And I know Chelsea still got something to prove, but and again, this is based on if Arsenal continue to do what they're doing as we expect. I was actually looking forward to the league being competitive again. Like, I obviously my era growing up, 90s, early 2000s football. Obviously 90s I was young, but early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s is when I started to understand football a bit more. Like, Man United had competition in that league, and everyone was fighting for top honours. Now it's just one or two teams. Like, City run away with it every season, but I was looking at teams who were doing not as good as City, but were prepared to challenge, like City, every single season. And it's either been Liverpool challenge one season, United try one season under Oli his first season or second, whatever, he comes second. Jose tries, but it's like there's no consistency within people challenging. It's like City just run away with it. It's like they're getting let off the hook. But again, credit to City in that respect, because the way they're run. But other clubs need to get their shit together, because the league's looking crap, man. Like, and there needs to be some bolster. And I'm looking at Castle. I'm looking at Arsenal, Chelsea moving in the right way now to get back
doing
up
their
there.
thing, man.
There has to be some level of competition. I want Man United to put their name in the hat. You know, I'm not saying go win it all, but I want them to have that competition, because when you beat that level of competition, there's a level of pride, and you will know as United fans, not many fans can relate to this if you're a rival fan, and I feel for you, so sorry, but it is what it is. When you have that level of competition, you go and beat them all. Like, there's a level of pride that no one can take away from you, man. And it leaves rivals actually bitter and hateful. I shouldn't be sitting here going, as much as I can credit City doing what they're doing, I can still see areas of where we could have made it more difficult for them as top clubs. And those top clubs aren't moving correct. It's only this season now I'm seeing them in the transfer market going, right, you're actually building properly. You're moving correct. Chelsea, Arsenal, to name a few. Liverpool, of course, seem like they're going to be stuck 7th and 8th, but they're normally there anyway. But even Brighton, do you know what I mean? These clubs, Newcastle, these teams are now actually going, no, let's actually build and push. And that strength in the Premier League needs to come back, man. But I want Man United to be a part of it, because I can't sit here next season, boys, start complaining that we're not doing X, Y, Z if we're being run the same way. We can't even put a name in the hat. Do you know what I mean? That's like us, man. Yeah, all of one in four of us can go and grab a lottery ticket and guarantee to win it. Yeah, but then I say, you know what? I ain't putting my money into that, boys. You three go for it. And then one of you three win it. No one I can guarantee to challenge and potentially win something. And I start screw facing at you lot because you've won something. But I never put my name in the hat.
It's true, you know.
Do you know what I mean? Why should I be salty when I didn't do my bit? Do you know what I mean? If you do your part, then it comes down to, you know what? Fair play, best man won next season. I can handle that. But what I can't handle is when we're not trying to step up and go, no, we're here. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? There's a big difference. And we're so far away from that, boys. It's sad, man. As United fans, as rival fans, you better love this. Do you know what I mean? But as United fans, it's sad, bro.
Yeah.
It's
sad. Before you go, Tara, is it worrying though that you're seeing the clubs like Newcastle, even Tottenham for me now? I know they might lose Harry Kane, but if they do keep Harry Kane, James Maddison, you got the centre back from Wolfsburg. They're trying to play this new style of football now. Yep. You've got the likes of United, obviously Chelsea are there. You know, is it worrying though that everyone's making moves, rivals are making moves?
Yeah, it is for me. I just see that they're still linked to Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen, so it could be two centre backs they get in. They've got a keeper.
Yeah, that could be two. Apparently it's a bit more expensive though.
Yeah, it's a bit more expensive, but you know, if they want to back the manager and try and go in that direction, then that's what they're going to do. I look at it. Look, they could have Bentancur, Basuma, and then it could be a Kulusevski, Maddison, and Son and Kane front six. Now, I'll be honest with you, that's actually pretty good. If I'm totally honest with you, like that screams a bit of,
one game a week. They haven't got Conference League as well.
Yep,
no Conference League, no Champions League,
exactly.
No Europa League.
And then when you've got Holberg, you've got maybe Richarlison on the bench. Some players that actually have Premier League experience, you can do a job of 7 out of 10. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? So it does worry me, if I'm totally honest. The answer is yeah. But on the flip side, if I wanted to try and use it as a positive, if the new owners come in, right, and they know that obviously we haven't signed any players yet, I would hope to think that they would see what these other clubs are doing and say, right, Ten Hag, we know what you done last season. We can see what Arsenal are doing. We can see what Newcastle are doing. We can see what Tottenham are doing. We need to back you and we need to do the same thing, because the other teams, what I kind of feel like what's happened is if the other teams weren't spending, right, and Arsenal weren't doing this and Tottenham and Newcastle weren't doing much, it kind of doesn't annoy us as much because we are frustrated because we're seeing rivals do that. So it kind of helps us in a way. If I'm trying to like flip the mentality, it might play in our favor because the fact that they're doing it, it means that we've got to do it. we can't stand still because the other team's not allowing us to. So that's how I'm going to try and like leave it. Hopefully, because the clubs are making moves, we have to make moves. If they were sitting still, the Glazers and that are probably, or the owners will be like, do you know what? The other rivals ain't been doing much, so we don't need to do too much. Just keep it tight. But no, because the rivals are stressing us out and because the rivals are improving, we have to. There's not a maybe, we have to. So yeah. You muted, Saeed.
Yo, mute, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you got to go, Tyrone. So big up to you. Make sure you follow
man.
Tyrone, Traffic Tunnel, and Never a Foul as well, man. So big up to you, man, Tyrone. I appreciate you coming
next
on,
week.
man.
Make sure people, Mandem Talk, we're back every Wednesday, man. Make sure you like the video. Rhino, Naji, love every time as well.
Come
yeah,
on, Tyrone.
No,
big
bro.
up, man.
Come on,
Love,
big
guys.
up, man.
Big up, Saeed.
Always, man. Always, man. Big up to Tyrone in the building. But you know, it just raises the question, Rhino, innit? Like, you know, there's certain types of players that we want to get, man. Like this news here, I don't know where it's coming from because Caicedo for me is a lovely player that I want to go and get here, but I just can't see it happening. But Sky Sports today, they're saying this waffle, man. I don't believe it. But let's
Manchester United. We know that Manchester United are in the market for a midfielder. And our understanding is that not only is Mason Mount potentially one of those targets, we know that there has been several offers, and that final offer of £55 million remains on the table to Chelsea with regards to Mason Mount. But Manchester United are expected to formally approach Brighton with regard to midfielder Moises Caicedo after making initial contact this week. Caicedo is on Manchester United's radar, as is Chelsea's Mason Mount. You have to remember as well that Arsenal had a bid of £70 million rejected by Brighton in January. He then went on to sign a new contract. He's been monitored by a number of sides since January. His performances have been superb. He can play in the middle. He's also played at right back as well for Brighton. So he brings a versatility to the squad. So this is a really, really interesting deal because not only are they in for potentially Mason Mount, but Moises Caicedo, we're expecting formal interest to be made at some stage in the next 48 hours. So significant developments there as Manchester United try and strengthen once again, and they're looking at Brighton man Moises Caicedo.
It's cap.
I don't know, man.
Expected. They're looking to. They're going to. It's cap, bro. It's all cap, bro.
Interest FC.
Interest FC.
That's what we are, you know, man. The amount of interest, the amount of like we're talking, we're seducing, we're trying to, you know what I mean?
If this was an exam, you know if when they give you predicted grades, our predicted grades will be A star all across. But then our actual exam results are going to be flipping failures, bro.
You're resitting in college. First year of college, you're resitting.
Resitting in college, man. Oh my god,
all the man them pass, you're in the same college, but then you're not allowed to have all your picks in college because one of your lessons has to be science. GCSE science. That's basically it, bro. We're done out here, man.
No, we're done, bro. I swear to you, bro.
You know what's mad about Caicedo? We should have gone for $5 million anyway. While back, like people forgetting this.
Oh, let me
every
see
time I
where
look at
that
Caicedo, I think 5 million, and you didn't put Brighton went to come and scooped him for what, couple mil? Nah, man. And the thing is, I'm not being stupid. I'm not being stupid here. I mean, go on, Saeed. What are you saying?
No, that's where the article came from in 2020. Look, I'm going to show you the article right now.
Go on.
Man United. Apparently, we agreed for some reason. We agreed the fee, but just couldn't get it over the line. Look here. The article is 2020. People, look at that article right there. Right.
Oh, you know what's mad, Saeed? Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it, bro. But someone on Twitter messaged Caicedo's brother, yeah, and my obviously Ecuadorian in it, but my boy from Colombia, Monty, plays for Livingston at left back, yeah. I asked him to translate what was said, and this brother basically asked Moises Caicedo's brother if he's coming to United, and it translated to something on the lines of almost there, something like that. I'll have to find it for you because I screenshotted it because the guy sent me the link, and it was in Caicedo. I swear to, I remember sending it to a couple of people on Twitter that I was talking to at that time. But I'll find it. I'll find it for you, man. It was honestly it was madness. I was thinking, we've got him, and then I kept it hush. And then
it's a joke.
2-2s, we ain't going for him. We haven't put the money down. I'm thinking, Ross, like mad. That's unbelievable. Could not believe it.
And now it's what? How many percent is it more now? You know what I mean? It's like it's 100 million more we're paying, nearly.
Well,
You know
yeah,
it's
like
crazy, man.
Like
and we got no pool. Like Chelsea have no Champions League, nothing. They don't care. They don't want to come. They don't want to come here, bro. It's peak,
a
bro.
project, though, innit? It's a project. It's the
project. Yeah.
Right now, it's uncertain. Ten Hag has to get his players in. He can't get I'm not. Like, this is what people are like trying to like look at Ten Hag differently. It's not Ten Hag's pull. It's the fact that Man United as a whole can't offer you, apart from wages,
the whole situation.
You a kind of a route to kind of be the best team in the world again. We can't. We just got to offer you money, and Ten Hag knows you. That's it right now. Casemiro was different because he wanted a challenge. He wanted to see what's going on. He thought Man United might be on a mad thing. Obviously, he's come through the door. We've got a decent first season, but next season, he might just speak out and say, yo, listen, this ain't good enough. And I think he said it as well at the end of the season. He wrote a statement saying Man United should be winning trophies. Man United should be competing for the best. Like, he said, this ain't good enough when you deep it. So we are letting Ten Hag down. But something's got to give, man. Something's got to give.
As long as we got these owners, we're dinnered, man. Then we're done, bro. I'm telling you. And they're the common denominator of this whole problem. Since they've been, we've had the same problem every year. Every manager, same problem. Till they go, man, then we're done. We're dinnered. We're done.
This is why really and truly should be focusing on the ownership, man. Because any hope that you're putting into any signing, whether it's your preference or not, because trust me, even if you got preferences and transfers, you're going to get to a stage where you go anyone. And the moment you say, just give me anyone, that's how you know you're broken. I know you'll get to that stage, people, and you've got to look at these owners and go, just sell the flipping club. Let us know. Just let the transfer happen, man. Because other than that, boys, you're going to be panicking. And, boy, you will get to that stage where you go into the season depressed, hoping for the best, not having no faith, no confidence, hoping Ten Hag does a miracle, and you're going to get that vex that you're going to be so short-sighted that you're going to start blaming everything on anything you shouldn't anyway. You'll be calling manager out for this. You'll be nitpicking on all the small details because you were that desperate for us to do well. Like, the fan base will start blowing up and then start arguing over the small details rather than going, you know what, Mandem, these owners, and that it's going to be the same every season, man.
That's true, man.
You won't be able to hold your tongue, man. And I side with anyone who feels like that. When you get in your feelings, it's game over. Do you know what I mean? You don't keep your head, and then you do start saying stupidness. But let's be honest, man. The owners, people, are the ones where you should be focusing. It's all results to them and how they've been running us. And yeah, man, Qatari can't come soon, man. Get them in. Even you know what? I'd even take Qatari, bro. Even if the transfer window is finished and in January we go and do a thing, I wouldn't mind. That's the stage I'm at, bro.
Hoping it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, bro.
That stage as well right now, because that means you've got some sort of hope and whatnot. But I hear you what you mean in terms of the manager and you know what he did last season when we had a bad start and he had to bring in Anthony and Casemiro. When you look at it, them two signings, okay, Anthony hasn't hit the heights, but Casemiro's been a linchpin of the side. Then obviously see that with the Ronaldo situation. There's a lot of situation where Oli might have folded. Like Oli would have said, "Yo, Ronaldo can stay, man. He's a club legend." Like he wouldn't want to deal with the uppercuts, and he might have not had the same season. Whereas my man said, "Yo, listen, Ronaldo, kick back. I'm gonna go and get something else. I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna try and create the team so it's one way, one direction." And I don't think any other manager would have done that. Maybe Mourinho, maybe Van Gaal, but Oli would not have done that because he would have just kept it the same situation. He doesn't want no trouble. So in that aspect, Ten Hag has had to do with a lot. But now it's kind of like, right, you've done that. Now how do you move forward? How do you then get to the next step? There's no point staying in this top four race because this top four race is a comical. Never ever have you seen a top four race go simple. Whenever you see the top four race where it's just simple, you get top four. It's so bad how you get to top four. You almost stumble across it. Okay, Newcastle are an anomaly because it's like they've not been there for 20 odd years, but no one celebrates top four. You don't just celebrate top four. Trophies, yes. But top four is a minimum for Man United Football Club. And then now it's like, where do we bridge the gap? Because we're stuck in a cycle where we're not going to get second. We're not going to get first. It's third and fourth. But if you're going to get third and fourth this year, you need to go 10% more, 20% more than you did last year. Because now it's even more harder. Because Liverpool are going to be back. You know, who else is there? Chelsea definitely going to be back. So it's top 6, it's top 7 now.
Mad.
They know top. Brighton will be better next year.
Tottenham, even
Obviously,
Tottenham, bro.
You know what it's like, yeah?
They'll get better.
I don't know if you man watch F1, bro, but it's literally like, yeah, Lewis Hamilton staying at Mercedes because he's been there for the longest. But then every season that goes, they don't tune their car and make it quicker. They don't do anything to it. But your Mercedes is the big brand, you know what I mean? And it's like all the other teams are getting extra specs on their cars, new wheels, new tails, everything. Yeah, new materials to making it lighter, but so it's within regulation. And you're there with your championship car from 2019, still thinking it can boss in 2023 and 4. Like, that's basically what we're doing. Yeah, it's still a Ferrari. Yeah, it's still a Mercedes. Yeah, it's still an F1 car. Yeah, it can still move. If you put it on standard road, it's going to do things and you're going to shut people up. But really and truly, when you're competing, every season you have to update. It's easy when you're being. It's easy when you're doing the chasing. But when you're on top, it's hard to maintain your stance and stay on top. And United haven't been able to do that. And that has been shown. We've allowed these other teams to get back to us. That we've allowed it. We were a step ahead of every team. We're 2, 3, 4 seasons ahead. And over 17 years, they've clawed that back because we've been too slow and we've changed the way in which we do and I run our club. And that's now we're the ones trying to chase. And we can't even chase because the model that we're working off is no longer working because we ain't got no money. Do you know what I mean? We can't facilitate the Glazers' pockets the way they want to. Now they want to sell. Now we're dry. Then it's like, you're right, start off again. I'll be honest, yeah. This is for the record, 100%. I would rather be relegated knowing that we've got new owners that actually care about the club. Like I genuinely would rather go into the championship. If you said, Neji, right, listen, brethren, you're going into the championship, or League One tomorrow. The season starts tomorrow. You're going there. However, you got the Qataris, yeah, and you start again. I'm saying save, go for it. Because what's the point in being at the top if you can't compete? You may as well. I'd rather work myself back up because that's what we are anyway. We're a workman's club. We're a team built off graft. I'd rather graft again. Let's go. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather graft again, start there. If it meant that these guys dipped, but that ain't no reality. That's just me wishing, man. That's me praying and wishing before bed.
They're millionaires, but they've got like how much, $1 billion in debt. Like, you know, it just shows you, man. Them man are broke billionaires, bro. They self-proclaimed billionaires, but they got $1 billion in debt that they never wanted to touch. So it just shows you that you rather come clean, leave all the problems behind, and start off like proper and fresh, and then you go from there. But it's what it is. But people, we're gonna wrap up here,
man. They ain't spent
a
penny.
I could go down the side of my couch right now and probably go find 20p. That's fell out my change or pocket, yeah. And that would be me putting more money into this club than not. That's mad. Mad.
I've got 50 Kenyan shillings. 50 Kenyan shillings here. I'll put that into more than the Glazers, man. Big up to Kenya, man.
Yo.
But people, I don't know how much that is worth, by the way. But listen, it's more than the Glazers anyway. But anyway, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. Make sure you do like the video. Let's get to 500 likes. We're only on 400 likes. Please, guys, if you're watching right now and you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Big up to Rhino for coming on as usual, man. My guy.
Yeah, big up, man. Love for having me, man. Big up Neji as well, man. Come on, you guys need to like the video, man. Saeed's putting in that work. You get me? He's overlooking that jet lag. He's putting in that work, man.
Man, I'm telling you, it's there, but it's not there. So you get me? Like, it's mad, man. It's mad. But yeah,
big up to you, man.
Big up Neji, man. Each and every time, bro.
Yeah, I love, bro. Obviously, big up the panel always. So, I mean, Mandem Talk's always a pleasure every week, man. So, do you know what I mean? It's always nice to come there. But obviously, the guys in the comments as well that tune in every week and show love and support, man. You know what I mean? A couple people reached out to me on different socials, sending their praises and respects to the show. So, clearly, we're doing something right. So, hopefully, that is enough for you guys to come and like the video. But if you need anything to do with myself, Sunshine47, SONSHINE47. Catch me on Instagram, and you can also catch me on Twitter for everything football as well. And if you want any replica football shirts as well, make sure you come see me. I'll give you some discount if you are a Mandem follower as well. I think the new United shirts away and home have just come out. So we've got a couple of them flying out tomorrow. But again, none of the money goes actually into Adidas or the Glazers. They are replica shirts, but high level quality. So yeah, come shout me if you need anything of that nature, and I'll sort you guys out. But other than that, make sure you like the video. Support Saeed, support Rhino MGTV, And of course,
Come on, man.
next week, man, all the Mandem should be here, ready to go. So yeah, big ups, man.
Definitely people, man. 100% people, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you do like the video on your way out tomorrow. I think we've got a Strict Jackie podcast tomorrow. We did do it on Monday, so we're back tomorrow for that one, man. So I'll see you there, man. Enjoy the rest of the evening. We're out.